There's no doubt about it. Cormani McClain's had a rough, and I mean a rough road to get to where he's at. But things are finally starting to look up for him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great start to your week. Hope all of you having a great Monday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got to talk about an individual we haven't talked about in a very long time, but his name should ring a bell. I'm referring to no other than Mr. Cormani McClain. Clap it up. Clap it up. Oh, man. Keep clapping it up. Good old Cormani McClain. It has been a hot minute since we talked about him. He was, for a while there, a guy we talked about, it seemed like, at least a couple times, not even just a month, but a couple times a week. He was in the headlines nonstop. If you don't know the lore behind him, I'm not explaining it all. There's plenty of videos on the channel. Long story short, 5-star recruit, goes to Colorado. Deion's like, yeah, this guy's not working hard. He's skipping practices, skipping workouts, so he enters the transfer portal, he goes to Florida, and we haven't heard about him ever since. Wait a minute, hold on. So for those of you who don't know, this is the 4th video we're uploading today. I decided to take a look at the comment section on a video we uploaded earlier. What am I looking at? I used to watch college football with my grandpa. After he passed, I found this channel, and it's nice to hear the perspective of a senior citizen again, so now I'm a senior citizen. But hold on, the comment right under that. Hey, Matt, be good looking. Thanks for that. These rankings are way better than the AP nerds. With that being said, stay away from my grandma. And the third of the bunch, good video, Merville. So now my name is Merville. What is a Merville? Or is it pronounced Merville? I don't even know what that is. I've never even seen that word in my life. So we got one comment calling me a senior citizen, the other one telling me to stay away from his grandmother, and then another one calling me Merville. You can't make it up. Anyways, getting a little sidetracked. That's besides the point. That's also enough of the comment section for a while. Let's get back on track with Mr. Monty. You probably picked up on it. We haven't talked about Monty in a long time on the channel. Why? Because there's not anything to talk about. And I'll give him some credit. He's been staying out of trouble. He's been staying out of the news. And like my grandfather always told me growing up, sometimes no news is good news. I think you can apply that logic to this situation because it seemed like the only time we ever talked about Cormani, it was nothing but bad news. We are now talking about him again, and this time, it's not bad news. He has been quietly staying under the radar and working his butt off at Florida, and I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You gotta love to see it. And guess what happened in this most recent football game against the U? Yeah, Florida, they're booty juice. Their head coach is awful. This team, they're gonna show up and make a bowl game. But guess who had an interception? You know who. Come on, McClain, clap it up. Monty picked off one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, Timmy, a.k.a. Carson Beck. I saw some people on Twitter saying, oh, so now we're celebrating moral victories. Cormani McClain getting an interception. That's a moral victory, yada, yada, yada. You get what all the haters are saying. Do I understand that? Yeah, kind of, but I don't agree with it. Not with this situation. Let me explain. We're not talking about Florida. We're not talking about the team. This is solely about Cormani and Cormani only. I'm not clapping it up for him. I'm not praising him in this video because he got an interception. It's more so of what he's been through up until this point. He had to work his butt off and he had to get back right, and I like to see it. It's almost like a comeback story. You could say, well, Matt, him working hard, him doing all the practices, not getting in trouble, going to class, etc., etc. We shouldn't clap it up for him. That's what he's supposed to do. And I agree. But you do understand and realize at the beginning of his collegiate career, he wasn't doing that. So I feel like he should be praised for it a little bit because he's learning. I'm not trying to treat him like a little kid or something. Just pat him on the back for doing what everybody else is doing. But my thing on the channel, if I'm going to critique you, I'm also going to praise you when it's time to be praised. And guess what? Now it's time to praise him. He picked off Carson Beck. It was a beautiful play. It wasn't like the ball was thrown right at him. No, he made a beat on the ball. You saw his natural talent and athletic ability on full display, and that was the reason he was regarded as high as he was coming out of high school, a 5-star recruit. And also, while I'm thinking about it, let me bring this up. His talent, his ability on the field has never been a question mark. It's just always been the little things, the off-the-field problems. Can he show up and put in the work? It appears to seem he's finally doing that. He is slowly but surely making his way up the depth chart, and I expect by next year, he should be a starter somewhere, if not at Florida. For those of you who don't know, a main reason he was even playing as much as he did in that Miami game is because Johnson, one of Florida's other defensive backs, he was out for that game, and I think he's going to miss the entire season, and he's going to have knee surgery. It's something like that. So with Johnson going out, that now opens up the door for other players, including, you know who, McClain. The good news for McClain is with this Florida defense already being really good and really solid, I think he's going to fit in just fine, and it's not like he's going to be playing on some awful defense, so his job is going to be way easier. What I'm talking about is, if you're a 5-star defensive back and you're playing on a terrible defensive team and unit, it's going to make it harder for you because you're going to have to worry about other people doing their job, but he's not going to have to do that. Granted, he shouldn't be doing that anyways. I don't care if it's your teammates messing up all the time. You got to focus on your role and your role only. This is really good news for Monty. He has a golden opportunity right in front of him. Just don't screw it up. Here's my current stance on him. It's hard to even believe this is true, but it is. He has been playing college football, or he's been in college now, for 3 years. Yeah, I know, right? And he really has nothing to show for it outside of 2 interceptions. His career is far from over. You could argue and say he's just getting started. He is. But he needs to hurry up, and he needs to lock in. If you want to call him a late bloomer, I'm cool with that. But it's go time. It's put up or shut up. What we see in the remainder of the games this year and early on next year if he stays at Florida, that's going to define not just his collegiate career, but his, if he does make it or has a shot at getting drafted, his NFL career. With all that great stuff being said, and I do want to make this a happy and positive video about McClain, we do need to pump the brakes, and I don't want to overreact too much to getting 1 interception in a game against Miami. If he can continuously to put together good performance after good performance after good performance, then we got a different conversation on our hands. But when you're having a couple of decent plays here and there, it doesn't make you a even average defensive back. You got to do it consistently if he wants to get to a level where he thinks he can eventually get to. I will say my biggest takeaway and what I'm most pleased in when it comes to McClain's game isn't anything, ironically enough, to do with his game itself. It is all the little things he has done to prepare for this opportunity and moment leading up until that interception versus Carson Beck in Miami. That's what I like to see. The talent that equates to the interceptions that's going to get him the INTs and pass breakups and tackles. I've never had a question about that. I know how good he is. It is just a mentality thing with him. Can you put in the work and be a dedicated football player? If he can do that, sky's the limit. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Before we end out this video, I got to throw this in there. I should have talked about it earlier. My apologies. But there was a play he made against LSU that was also circling on Twitter and everywhere on social media. Let me read this off word for word. Not a lot to be happy about tonight referring to the LSU game, but watch Cormani McClain on this play. So many questions about his character throughout his career, showing up late to practice, lack of effort, etc. And now here he is leaving it all out there when the game is already over. For those of you who didn't see this play, he hawked that guy down and he had a touchdown saving tackle. You gotta love to see it if you're a fan of Monty. I don't think you can appreciate the little plays like this that on the grand scheme of things are meaningless in the outcome of the game if you haven't been keeping up with Cormani as much as we have on the channel, even dating back to his high school days. It is very nice to see a young man who has all the talent and potential in the world utilizing that talent, putting in the work, and it's paying off on the field. There's no doubt about it. Cormani McClain's had a rough, and I mean a rough road to get to where he's at, but things are finally starting to look up for him. Could he be one of the better defensive backs by next season? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to make this a super long video, just a short, simple, and sweet update. Congratulations, Monty, on the interception. Wishing best of luck, brother. I'm curious to know your thoughts and all this down below. But